the first words that would have come out my mouth, they ain't your kids, they're Jaime Lannister's kids, they a lie, she a lie. Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you could, please leave the video a like before exiting and please consider subbing. Today we'll be watching Game of Thrones. Welcome back everyone. My god, it has been a long time since I've sat down to watch Game of Thrones. Gonna be honest with you, I wasn't really enjoying reacting to it. I think maybe this idea of going in with the books and all of that, it kind of stripped my enjoyment of just sitting down and wanting to watch it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start watching like 3 episodes at a time and just like, I feel like I'll enjoy it more if I'm watching all of them at once and just like not really thinking of, like, not that I'm not thinking about the books, but I'm looking to enjoy these reactions and I wasn't really enjoying them, is probably why I haven't reacted to Game of Thrones in a while. I just want to sit back and just watch and remember why I fell in love with the show and why it made me want to read the books and just get into listen, I'm not one of those show haters. I do think there were some missteps, but I would be lying if I think Game of Thrones didn't like do certain things, not necessarily better, but just the enjoyment of having the characters and the music and the scenery and like, listen, it is a damn good show in terms of like, not even, I would just say it fell off maybe around season 6, 7, and 8. Like it just dipped and dipped and dipped, but damn, it's not like it's awful TV. Like you can't sit down and watch and enjoy it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit down, watch 3 episodes at a time and just like enjoy it. Because I'm looking for a way to enjoy it again, and I wasn't really enjoying the reactions. I just want to be honest with you all. So I'm just gonna sit down and just look to enjoy it, like just react and remember. That's what I'm gonna do. So grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever it is you like to do when you watch your favorite reactions. Just get comfortable and let's get to. God, kill me now, seeing both of them above you. Just let me die. Robert's useless and Cersei wants you dead.
By what right dare you lay hands on my blood?
I am the king's hand.
You were the king's hand.
Peace.
Catelyn will release Tyrion, and you'll make your peace with Jaime.
Lord Stark was returning drunk from a brothel when his men attacked Jaime.
Quiet, woman.
Yeah. Robert knows that's a lie immediately. That is not who Ned is.
He's attacked one of my brothers and abducted the other.
Ma'am, you pushed his son off a damn roof. Because y'all were screwing in under his roof. Y'all can miss me. Miss Cersei, you had a lot of nerve. Now, she didn't deserve to get slapped. I ain't advocating for violence.
Badge of honor.
Wear it in silence, or I'll honor you again.
Ned is not here for the woman beating.
What about Jaime?
I'm half a kingdom in debt to his bloody father. I don't know what happened between you and those yellow-haired shits. I don't want to know. This is what matters. I can't rule the kingdoms if the Starks and the Lannisters are at each other's throats. So enough.
Rule what? Robert, you would mean I can't rule a kingdom. You don't rule.
Put on the badge, and if you ever take it off again, I swear to the mother I'll pin the damn thing on Jaime Lannister.
God. He's such a horrible king. Like, sir, your wife's brother, which is your brother-in-law, has abducted, attacks your hand. The wife of your hand abducted your brother-in-law. And you do nothing but go on a hunt. Your kingdom is on the brink of war, sir. He's like, oh, I want to go hunt. I'm going to go hunt.
Lannister put his spear through your father's leg. They attacked your father. They've already started the war. It's your duty to represent your house when your father can't.
And it's not your duty, because it's not your house.
Oh, Theon.
Where's Bran?
Don't know. It's not my house.
Exactly. Can only imagine how just the divide Bran probably felt, sort of like Jon in a way. You live amongst them, but you're not one of them. You're always reminded you're not one of them. You just feel like you get so close and then bam, you're not one of us, bitch. No, baby. My little heart's broken. Oh my god, the love Arya had for her father.
They killed Jory.
Mm-hmm.
My father's hurt.
You are troubled.
Yes.
Good. Trouble is the perfect time for training. If you're with your trouble when fighting happens. More trouble for you.
Syria was a gift. God bless Ned for finding Syria to train her. Saved her life all those all those times she ran into trouble when she was on the run.
There is only one God, and his name is death. And there is only one thing we say to death.
Not today!
Not today.
Oh, such an iconic line. Look at you, Syrio. Such a short-lived character, but my god, you felt his presence throughout every scene with Arya. Like defying death. Oh my god, it cuts to this. Defying death became her shtick. Not today. Every time death called, no sir. Ooh, tear into that. He's like, yeah, tear into that hard muscle. Keep going. This is foreplay for them.
The prince is riding. I have heard the thunder of his hooves. Swift as the wind he rides. She's going to have a boy.
He won't be a real Targaryen.
I love the fear in it. I forgot the actor's name. I wish we got more of him. That little subtle fear in his eye when he said she's going to have a boy. Damn, he is turned on. He's like, yeah, swallow it, girl, swallow it. Yeah, she swallowed it. There's something so disturbingly sexual to that.
You wish to confess your crimes?
Yes, milady. I do, milady. I have lied and cheated, gambled and whored.
Tyrion's such a little and I love it.
When I was 7, I saw a servant girl bathing in the river. I stole her robe and could still see her tits bouncing. I flogged the one-eyed snake. I skinned my sausage. I made the bald man cry. To the turtle stew, which I do believe my sister ate. At least I hope she did.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Cersei.
You are accused of hiring a man to slay my son, Bran, in his bed, and of conspiring to murder my sister's husband.
Lysa ain't shit.
I don't know anything about all that.
Yeah, Lysa knows a lot.
I demand trial by combat. I name my brother, Jaime Lannister.
The Kingslayer is hundreds of miles from here.
Send a raven for him. I'm happy to wait.
Trial will be today.
No, you.
Do I have a volunteer?
Lysa ain't for that. And Catelyn just standing there quiet as a mouse. As if you didn't help orchestrate this entire BS. You were supposed to go back to Winterfell on Ned's orders, and yet you decided to kidnap Tyrion. Can you imagine if Tyrion died out here? Child, Tywin would have dragged Lysa out by her 2 ponytails. True. And Sweet Robin would have gone down that moon door. Not because he loves Tyrion, but you kill one of his oh, child, honey. Tywin would have been writing a new Reigns of Castamere about the errands. Child, he spread that throughout the entire world. Essos would have heard about that song. Kill one of his children? Fight! Jesus, child. And then Bronn just runs around. Just wear him out. Tire him out. All that armor, tearing a shield, a sword. Well, Bronn essentially doesn't have much of anything. Ooh. Ooh. Nice, Sir Vardis. Ow! Ooh.
don't fight with honor.
Bitch, you got a lot of fucking nerve.
He did.
Lysa, you can jump off. Well, no, you'll eventually fall out that moon door, and I'll laugh when that happens. But you got a lot of nerve for saying someone doesn't have honor.
I'm sending you both back to Winterfell.
What?
Expeditiously.
Are you dying because of your leg? Is that why you're sending us home?
What? No.
Please, Father, please
You can
don't.
see
You can't.
Arya's fear, even from her lessons with Syrio, and then here, she's scared for her dad.
Winterfell,
She kind of
for your
low-key
own
knew
safety.
something was
How is it
horrible
Syrio
was
back
coming
with
his
us?
way.
Because I'm supposed to marry Prince Joffrey. I love him, and I'm meant to be his queen and have his babies.
7 hells.
He'll be the greatest king that ever was, a golden lion, and I'll give him sons with beautiful blonde hair.
The lion's not a sigil, idiot. He's a stag like his father.
God, I love Arya so much. The way Macy said he's a stag like his father and rolled the eyes. Ooh. And the reveal. And this right here is why I'm a little peeved that in House of the Dragon that they didn't keep Rhaenys and her black hair. Like, she has little, like, you know how Rogue looks? Think of it like that. Like Rogue from X-Men with the white hair after she touches Magneto. Like, after that entire scene in the first X-Men. She has, like, the little white. That's how Rhaenys Targaryen looks, sort of. Like, she's mostly black hair with, like, silver, fine little silver strands throughout her hair. Because her mother, I believe, is Jocelyn Baratheon?
Robert Baratheon, black of hair.
And that could have kept, like, the
Joffrey
whole
Baratheon.
Rhaenyra's children. Well, no, they decided to make Laenor black, so. But then again, if they were gonna use skin color, Viserys should have had some color to him. And we saw Jaehaerys, and Jaehaerys was white too. Sorry, this is all House of the Dragon talk. So yeah, I guess skin color wouldn't have anything to do with it because Jaehaerys was white as snow and.
Get your hands off me! No one touches the dragon.
Oh God, Viserys.
You are no king.
Oh my God.
Viserys, please.
To point a sword at your sister's pregnant belly. Yeah, this is the moment she was done with him. You could see it in her eyes.
I want the crown he promised me.
You could see, good acting by Emilia. You could see it in her eyes right there. She was done with him. The second he pointed that sword at her belly.
He says, yes, you shall have a golden crown that men shall tremble to behold.
Oh, Viserys.
Oh! No! No! You cannot touch me!
Look away, Khaleesi.
No.
She's like, I'm gonna see that bitch fry. Yeah, gold ain't melted that fast.
Make them!
Make them do what? Listen, even if Dany pleaded for your life, you're still getting gilded, sir. You're still being gilded.
Dany, please!
Even if she begged for you.
Crown for king.
You pulled a sword out at Back. You pointed a sword at the cow's child and Khaleesi. You think Khal Drogo's gonna let it stand in front of all of his people? You are a dead man. Ain't no begging her for nothing. And the audacity to beg her to save your life.
He was no dragon. Fire cannot kill a dragon.
Bye, Viserys! Next episode! Game of Thrones, Episode 7, You Win or You Die.
Lannisters, don't act like fools.
Well, you certainly have 3 kids who certainly do act like fools.
When you hear them whispering Kingslayer behind your back, doesn't it bother you?
Of course it bothers me.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. And every day that he remains a prisoner, the less our name commands respect.
And does concern himself with the opinions
No, that's not an opinion, it's a fact.
Yeah.
If another house can seize one of our own and hold him captive with impunity, we are no longer a house to be feared.
Before long I'll be dead. All of us dead. Family name that lives on. It's all that lives on.
What an opening scene for Tywin. Truly, it really sums up so much of his character. Not all of it, but a good portion of everything he does can be summed up right here in this scene. An excellent add-on to the show.
My brother's worth 1,000 of your friend.
Your brother? Or your lover?
Both.
Came into this world together, we belong together.
My son saw you with him.
Mm-hmm. God bless, and I would have choked that heifer out.
And that night he crawled on top of me, stinking of wine, and did what little he could do. And whispered in my ear, Lyanna, your sister was a corpse and I was a living girl, and he loved her more than me.
I remember Ned is at, what did he do to make you hate him so much? And she gave him this answer, I pity both of you so much. I was like, I don't know who I pity more. Cersei's like, keep your pity, Lord Stark. I'm coming for y'all.
Wherever you go, Robert's wrath will follow you.
And what of my wrath, Lord Stark?
Mm-hmm.
You should have taken the realm for yourself.
What an interesting question. What of my wrath? And Ned did not think twice about that, huh?
All you needed to do was climb the steps yourself. Such a sad mistake.
I've made many mistakes in my life. That wasn't one of them.
Oh, but it was. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win, or you die.
I could see the lace on Ned's wig. They did not blend that shit through at all. You can literally see the lace. Oh my goodness, you can see the little dots where the hair comes out. Oh my god.
My fault. Too much wine. Missed my thrust.
Ugh.
Stinks.
Stinks to death.
Now leave us, the lot of you. I need to talk to Ned.
Oh, Cersei!
Robert, my sweet.
My sweet, my ass. Oh, Ned. The first words that would have come out my mouth, they ain't your kids, they're Jaime Lannister's kids, they alive, she alive. Listen,
you damned fool.
I'm not gonna let you kill him, but I'm not gonna let you put Joffrey on the throne, because that'll give Tywin and Cersei too much power, and they don't need that.
Of House Stark, titles.
So many titles.
As Lord Regent and Protector of the Realm upon my death.
That's like Regent. I just want to go back to Winterfell.
Till my son Joffrey comes of age.
He's like, yeah, we ain't putting that little name down on this. Sneaky, sneaky, Ned. Sneaky, sneaky.
At least they'll say I did this right, this one thing.
No.
You'll rule now.
Forgive me, Khaleesi, but your ancestor, Aegon the Conqueror, didn't seize 6 of the kingdoms because they were his right. He had no right to them. He seized them because he could.
And because he had dragons.
Now, if you'll pardon me, I'll seek out the merchant captain, see if he has any letters for me.
Well, I'll come with you.
No, don't trouble yourself. Enjoy the market. I'll rejoin you soon.
Oh, Jorah. Ugh. Granted, this was before he really got to know Dany, so, you know.
You have the honor of addressing Daenerys of the House Targaryen.
The wine is for the Khaleesi, it's not for the likes of you.
Open it.
Well, just got real. Okay, Jorah. His conscience kicked up. Well, I wouldn't even say that. I think it's more... Well, yeah, it is a bit of his conscience.
Wine this rich without at least giving it time to breathe.
Do as he says.
Mm-hmm.
As the princess commands.
I can't remember if someone questioned Jorah as to how he knew.
You first.
God, the close-up on the faces. Ooh. All the eyes. Oh shit. Look at... Ooh, Mercado said, get your ass back here.
Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. You'll be with him day and night, attend him at meetings, squire for him in battle. You'll know everything, be part of everything.
See how he makes his decisions?
He wants to groom you for command.
Mm-hmm. Because so many people already follow your lead. You're a natural leader. And he peeped that.
He named you Protector of the Realm. She won't care.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an hour and I can put 100 swords at your command.
Yes, especially because you kept giving up your swords.
Strike. Tonight while the castle sleeps.
Yes.
We must get Joffrey away from his mother and into our custody.
Mm-hmm.
For every moment you delay, give Cersei another moment to prepare.
Yep.
Tell me something. Do you still believe good soldiers make good kings?
Especially a religious zealot with that fire witch by his side. You really think... Did Ned even know about Melisandre? Can you imagine if he met Melisandre and saw that BS? You think he's still going to give it over to Stannis?
Dragging frightened children from their beds.
Ned, in your honor.
The hand of Stannis Baratheon. Not his steward.
This is some loud thunder. God, my dogs are probably terrified right now. It's literally shaking the windows in here.
Stannis himself.
When the queen proclaims one king and the hand proclaims another, whose peace do the gold cloaks protect? The man who pays them.
Or created them. I don't want to give... I don't want to get into... House of the Dragon.
All is accomplished. The city watch is yours.
Good. Is Lord Renly joining us?
I fear Lord Renly has left the city.
He said I'm out!
All hail his grace, Joffrey of houses Baratheon and Lannister, the first of his name. King of the Andals and the first men.
Terrifying sight seeing that child on that throne.
Sir Barristan, I believe no man here could ever question your honor.
Ned was always in like a constant state of sweat. He was always sweating. Like, always got a sheen to him.
Lord Eddard Stark is herein named Protector of the Realm, to rule as regent until the heir come of age.
Is this meant to be your shield, Lord Stark? A piece of paper. Bend the knee and swear loyalty to my son.
Your son has no claim to the throne.
Liar! You condemn yourself with your own mouth, Lord.
Kill him! Kill all of them, I command it!
Commander!
Men of the watch!
Oh my god. Ow, it hurts every time! Ned! Oh shit.
I did warn you not to trust me.
Hurts even more because Renly warned him. You were warned! Like this was gonna happen. Oh! Oh! I hate Cersei and Littlefinger, and God, I hate Joffrey. Next episode. Game of Thrones episode 8, The Pointy End. Oh, the Winterfell wipeout. Ah! Oof.
She's so clumsy.
Hush. Go back to your room. Bar the doors. And do not open them for anyone you do not know.
Septim Ordain, you were a real one. Walk straight into those swords.
My tongue lied. My eyes shouted the truth. You were not seen.
I was so.
This is such a good lesson for Arya because her father just failed at that. Failed. I meant to say failed.
Father wants to see you.
And why is it that Lord Eddard is sending
Syrio
Lannister
said
men
absolutely
in place
not.
of his own?
Foreign bastard.
Ooh, we can skip the xenophobia, sir.
And you will be speaking to me with more respect.
Now, how is he knocking these people out with this wooden sword?
Child, we are done with dancing for the day. Run to your father. What do we say?
To the god.
To the god of death.
Not today.
Go.
Oh, little baby. Oh, Arya, from here on, it's just that shit that she runs into. Oh my goodness. Little Miss Arya Stark the epitome of survival.
Need it.
I wish they'd kept the scene where she kicks the body and she calls them liars for that they failed to protect the family.
Stay away!
Ooh. I also feel like that was edited, like the cut was a bit weird. Like she turned and all of a sudden he was stabbed. Like the edit was a bit choppy there. But it was the first season, they were still working kinks out, I guess.
You watched my men being slaughtered and did nothing.
And would again, my lord. I was unarmed. And
Oh my god, I don't know why that line always makes me. And what again? Shit. What do you want me to do? I would watch again.
What madness led you to tell the Queen you had learned the truth about Joffrey's birth?
Now, what a question. The question of the series. What madness?
Madness of mercy.
The wine slowed him down and the boar ripped him open. But it was your mercy that killed the king.
Treason. Sansa wrote this.
It is your sister's hand, but the Queen's word.
Smart man.
Joffrey puts my father in chains. Now he wants his ass kissed. His Grace summons me to King's Landing. I'll go to King's Landing. But not alone. Call the banners. They've all sworn to defend my father, have they not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see what the words are worth.
Woo! What words? Oh my goodness, Rob! The rise of Rob! Ah! I'm not ready to see him fall, though. I'm gonna enjoy his rise while I can.
Afraid?
There must be.
Good.
Why is that good?
Means you're not stupid.
What a scene! Ah! This is when things really pick up. Oh my goodness. Who all them damn ravens going out? Oh my goodness. Oh. And Mama Stark running.
My husband has been taken prisoner. My son intends to declare war.
A war? Your son against the Lannisters?
Ooh, act, Michelle, act. Ooh.
Rots in a dungeon, and you speak of patience. He is your brother by law. Does family mean nothing to you?
No, not a damn thing.
If you fear for the safety of your son.
Of course I fear for the safety of my son.
And yet you've done...
You're an idiot.
Are you an idiot?
They killed my husband.
You killed your
Will do anything, and that is why we have to stop them.
God, watching Lysa's scenes back make me... I can't wait for you to die!
The Vale will stay in the Vale where they belong.
I'm glad that the Vale helped get Winterfell back. Retribution for this... Oh my god, I want to choke Lysa out. Oh my... All this BS to get... All this she caused because she wanted to hop on Littlefinger's... It's probably a real small stick the way this man runs around. Oh my god. I want to fight Lysa!
What do you want done with them?
Bring her to me.
Yeah.
And those women there.
Oh, good that she stopped it from happening. That's it. She just, saved them. Miri is always such a conflicting character. I do like the complexity of that entire situation with Miri Mazdor and what she does.
Mago Asakat Jalari, Mashek Mishirakiani.
Jiniat Bella Jalar, Jin Churasi Zafrajin, Bajin Kishata. Yerifak, Asu Amno Sechi.
Ana Halisi, Ana Asok Yerisikoshi.
Vish Phineas Jahisha says, any near my voice so my.
You liked her strength.
Get your hele.
Ooh.
Asumaja. Oh, boss.
I do wonder. I find myself so curious about the whole Drogo Dany, and if Drogo had lived, how far would Dany have climbed in power? Would he have stopped her? Would he have felt like? I'll talk about it later. Oh, that cut!
For 30 years, I've been making corpses.
Ah, one of my favorite Rob scenes.
Galbert Glover will lead the van.
Oh my God.
Wall will melt.
There was such a look in Richard Madden's eyes here that was just, oh, you could see him coming, like his coming of age.
Take my men and march
wait for it. Right here. Oh, that look. Oh my God, that look was so intense. Yes, you could see the transformation in him.
And when I am done with the Lannisters, I will march back north, root you out of your keep, and hang you for an oath break.
I'll not sit here and swallow insults from a boy so greedy he pisses grass.
Oh, and Theo was ready for that smoke real fast. They legit just threw a stuffed dog at that man at the end there. They literally just threw a stuffed dog at him. Oh, that's hilarious.
Mother.
Oh, like, no, you can't. Not in front of your men.
I've no fear, my lady. We'll shove our swords up Tywin Lannister's dunghole, and then it's on to the Red Keep to free Ned.
You old devil, Roderick John.
He hasn't taken his eyes off his mother at all. Oh my goodness. That love right there. The mother and her firstborn. Oh.
There's no mention of Arya.
No.
Oh my God. And it begins. Catelyn just losing track of her babies one by one. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I want to cry every time I think Catelyn and her kids.
Do you know what happened to the Targaryen children when the Mad King fell?
They were butchered in the sleep.
On the orders of Tywin Lannister. And the years have not made him kinder.
Which is why I don't understand why you touched Tyrion. Oh, Catelyn, you are... God bless George R. R. Martin for writing such characters like this.
Die.
You love them and they frustrate the hell out of you.
Makes it simple then.
The very thing you love her for, she frustrates. Like, you know why she took Tyrion. Like, that rage of seeing him there is why she did it. But still, you wish she never touched him. And then she says everything Tywin did to the Targaryen kids. And it's like, well, if you know this and you know the years have not made him any kinder, why are you touching him? Oh, my God, Catelyn. Such a conflicting character. Such a well-written character. Whew. George R. R. Martin put his foot in the character of Catelyn Stark. Truly a well-written character.
Your Grace.
Come forward, my lady.
As it please your Grace, I ask mercy for my father, Lord Eddard Stark, who is Hand of the King. I know my Lord Father must regret what he did. He was King Robert's friend and he loved him. You all know he loved him. If you still have any affection in your heart for me, please do me this kindness, your Grace.
He has to confess and say that I'm the king. Or there'll be no mercy for him.
Joffrey. Oh! And the thing is, you just know no one wanted, Cersei certainly didn't want Joffrey to take Ned's head. That was completely off the cuff. And that should have been the sign that there is no controlling Joffrey. In fact, there should have been warning signs all along. The kid was cutting out little baby kittens out of a pregnant cat and showing it to his father. Like, there was something off about this child. Oh my God. Whew. Anyways, we start off really with Viserys' death. Well, it ends, episode 6 ends with Viserys' death. And here's the thing with Viserys. I think yes, obviously there's an envy and as well as a jealousy there with Dany. He's I think there's a fear that the son that she's about to give birth to is going to take whatever he has. But there's also part of him that is envious of Dany because he wants what she is receiving, not just what she's receiving, but he also knows she's receiving it because of her personality. I do think he wishes he had some of her charisma. Or maybe I'm giving Viserys a little bit too much credit because he is a bit delusional. However, I do believe his delusions is part of how he's able to survive, because it's not just Dany who was put into exile and forced to, you know, be moved place to place. It was also Viserys. But then you also have Sir Barristan telling Dany that even as a child with the Mad King, he was always, you know, he calls it the taint. Viserys always had that. He's always a bit touched. I guess that's the kindest way to put it. So it's just, I feel like Dany, very much like most victims of abuse, she was fine with it because she convinced herself, I guess, on some point that it is his right to hurt her because he is the king. He's her older brother. He's the dragon. He's convinced himself to be all these things, and he's managed to convince himself that he's all these things through convincing Dany. And as you know, belief really only exists through, like, you can only convince yourself you are these things by the people who believe you are these things. Like, at some point that delusion will shatter if no one believes that you are what you say you are. So Dany, a lot of who he convinces himself he is, it hinges on Dany's belief that he is that, and part of how he enforces that is his abuse of her. Now, I feel like Dany has always resented him for it, as most, I feel like, which is completely normal to hate the person who hurts you. However, like I said, she looks past it because of his position. Now, slowly but surely, we've sort of seen Dany finally feel safe amongst, I mean, they did remove the collar aspect. Like, Dany wears a slave collar. Granted, it's made of gold and it's all that, but a collar is still a collar no matter what you put on the damn thing. Like, she still wears a collar. She's his, like, bridal slave for Drogo. So she does move from one abusive situation to another, and I feel like Dany is practiced in making these places of harm some form of safety. She's practiced in doing that, so she's able to do that amongst the Dothraki. She's able to find some kind of safety there and settle in very similar. And I think it's also because there's not a consistent overt harm. Here's the thing. I feel like we've seen Dany try to bridge a gap between herself and Viserys. She's tried to make peace and make kind, but it doesn't work. And then we see Dany's source of pain was Drogo. I mean, it's assault. Like, in the books, it makes it very clear that in terms of not their first time, I feel like their first time, it's a bit murky in the books. However, consistently, she starts having ideation of wanting to, like, nope out of this world. So because of him, like, she has to ride on horses all day. She's in physical pain, and then Drogo comes and he's extremely rough with her, and she doesn't want any of this. It's marital assault in that aspect. With that being said, Dany does seek to find a way to bridge this gap. She starts to learn the language. She tries to seduce. It's so messed up because she's like 13, 14. So she tries to, like, she does what she can to alleviate the pain she's experiencing, because there's really no one who's going to save her in this situation. Of course, the dragon eggs are a source of will for her, and the dragon dreams, which I feel like the show that really couldn't find a way to include it, but she does draw so much strength from that, and it's what gives her the will to fight. And part of that fight is learning the language, trying to make this very abusive situation home for her. Once again, she's and I think it doesn't work with Viserys because there is no Viserys is just as lost as Dany is. They're both very lost individuals. They have no true home. Dany does associate the Red Door as home and the lemon tree and all that, but she's not there. She's detached from it. And this lack of stability has plagued both of them. So I feel like they're just as lost as the other. That's like their similarities in that case. But Dany is trying to find a footing amongst the Dothraki, and I do feel like she tried. She made an attempt. Like, okay, for instance, when they're amongst the Dothraki, she tries to like cook him dinner. Let's sit down. She had like the Dothraki clothes made for him. She's trying to help him. Like, she's trying to bridge that gap and make things easier for him, them. And I feel like that is something that she does with the Drogo. Like, she seduces him, she shows him a different way of sex, and it's all an attempt to make things less painful. It's her saving herself. It's her fight, and I do believe she's tried that with Viserys, but to no avail. It's always failed. He has no stability, he has no center. He thinks he wants to be king, but he doesn't really know what he wants. He's only aspiring to this dynasty that has really just weighed on him and has slowly but surely fractured his mind even more. Now, the second Viserys points that blade at her belly, it's no longer about protecting herself, because I feel like Dany has really not necessarily given up on herself in terms of fighting to defend herself in regards to her brother, but more so he has that right to hurt her. However, when she's now amongst the Dothraki, I do feel like that belief that it's his right to hurt her slowly but surely starts to fade. She's the wife of the Khal, she's pregnant, her protectiveness over her child starts to come out, and the second he points that blade at that belly, she's done with him, and rightfully so. Granted, she should have been done with him a long time ago, but she's, there's this mind state that exists with abuse victims that is very hard to break. But in this regard, Dany has now moved from one abusive situation to the other. She sort of couldn't find a stability in that situation with Viserys. She couldn't really, not manipulate herself into a better situation with Viserys, but there was nothing to bridge the gap. With Drogo, sex definitely did bridge that gap. It worked. It certainly worked, and she used that to her advantage, and good on her for trying to figure something out. Granted, she shouldn't have to, considering she's like 13, 14, she's a child, but she makes do with her situation. So I don't fault her for not trying to save Viserys. I feel like Viserys damned himself, because they both had a choice. I think Viserys and Dany life presented both of them choices, and they made their choice, and Viserys ended up perishing amongst the Dothraki. Now, I almost lost my train of thought. The Mirri Maz Dor situation, maybe I should save that for later when the episode arises, but I do feel like that is a very complex situation. So I'm gonna leave that alone, but I did wonder how far could Dany and Drogo have gone in their relationship? Like, I wonder if there was going to be a ceiling or a cap to how much respect or command Dany would have had amongst the Dothraki or in her journey. Or was Drogo someone who had to die for her to really become who she becomes? I feel like it's the latter. She has to die. He has to die for her to become who she becomes. But in terms of challenging the Dothraki way, Drogo does seem to be genuinely in love with her, or at the very least infatuated enough in order to sort of acquiesce some kind of power to her. It hurts me to see you bleed, my son and stars. So he says, okay, fine, let Mirri heal my wounds. I don't want these women to be harmed. Fine. I will certainly take that hit amongst my people, or have them look sort of down on me in a way. If this pleases you, I will do it for you. Daenerys. So given that aspect, the dynamic we were seeing of Drogo slowly but surely acquiescing to her desires, her needs, her happiness, I wonder just how far that could have gone. Though I do think there is a limit to how far that rubber band would have stretched. I do think there would be a point where Drogo wouldn't continually acquiesce control to Dany or power to Dany. I feel like there was always going to be there would have been conflict somewhere along the way. Just the masculinity of Drogo and the testosterone that he just exudes. I feel like at some point there would have been a clash, because while she's still on the rise, like she's still slowly understanding her power, but she's not at her final form per se. So there is a space where Dany can grow, but I wonder when she started to grow out of that space that Drogo felt comfortable with her existing in, what would have happened in their marriage. But that's a what if that never gets played out. Now that's for our little Dothraki people. Catelyn, Lysa, that entire situation, Tyrion. Oh, Lysa, she's such a conniving little heifer. I feel like, yes, Lysa isn't all there. I feel like she's also someone who is a bit off. As Tyrion said, she's always been a bit touched, but now, whew. But the fact that she causes so much ruin and she can just lie, like it's the ease in which she's just playing people. And she's so convincing, like she's convinced herself that she hasn't done this. Like she wasn't the one who murdered her husband. It was really Tyrion. Like Littlefinger didn't command her to send this letter. She was really being honest about the Lannisters. It's a level of mad that just frustrates the hell out of you. Once you know the truth, like when you're watching this and you don't know the truth, you're like, I can see where Lysa's coming from. At the same time, screw her for turning her back on her sister, but you can understand she wants to protect her child. This is her home. That she's not necessarily, well, yeah, she is obligated considering, well, it's a tricky situation, but when you do know what Lysa's done and the role she's played and why she's doing it, fuck her. Now Catelyn, I think I've spoken on how frustrating Catelyn is as a character, but damn, her love for Robb and Arya and Bran and Rickon and Sansa, it breaks your heart, as well as Ned. Just breaks your heart to see, I was on the verge of tears. I doubt you can see it, but I swear to God, I had tears in my eyes when the way Robb was just looking at his mother when she came into the camp. Richard Madden, gift of an actor, both of them, such great moments between them throughout the show. That moment where you can just feel the love and the situation that they're in, the fear of what is impending, and the fact that there is no going back. There's no unringing this bell. It is forever rung, and it could mean all their deaths. You could just feel that. Ugh. Now, Cersei, Robert, and all this, and Ned. Ned. It's a certain kind of pain when someone warns you of what's coming your way and you choose not to. I do think Renly overreached when he said, I am. I do think Ned would have contemplated the idea just a bit, but when Renly said I am, I'm fit to be king, and I don't think he is. Do I think he's a better option than Robert? Sure. Do I think he's a better option than Stannis? Listen, I could tolerate Stannis. What I can't tolerate is the prince who was promised prophecy that he is running towards, Melisandre, all that BS, everything that he comes with. It's not necessarily Stannis, it's what he's coming with. It's Melisandre, it's the Fire Lord, it's Azor, it's all of that BS of burning people at the stake for not believing in her god. It's all of that BS that I can do without. If Stannis came without that, I'd say sure, put Stannis on the throne, but that little no, and no. That zealot that he has by his side is why I wouldn't want Stannis on the throne. Not necessarily him. I mean, to some extent, yes, him too. You are going along with this. You are a willing participant and letting Melisandre continue with her BS because she is hyping you up about all this greatness and glory you are destined for. So on some level, it's Stannis, but on another, it's just, I don't like, if Stannis was without that, I'd say sure, put him on the throne over Renly and Robert and certainly Joffrey and Tom. Well, I feel like Tommen with Kevin Lannister sort of as his hand would have worked, but shit, you're not at Tommen, you're at Joffrey, so no, get rid of him. But just Stannis having Melisandre at his side is what always makes me so hesitant to like back him for that throne, because it's Melisandre's BS that really frustrates me, and it's Stannis's willingness to co-sign her fuckery. Anyways, yes. Oh, Ned. And they're the way they're bad copping, good copping Sansa. But I am glad that like Catelyn and Maester Luwin, they all know it's Cersei manipulating the hell out of Sansa. Poor thing. I mean, on some level, she's a brat, but like, she's a brat. Like, she's not a villain, she's a brat. Like, there's a difference between being a brat and a villain. Joffrey, that's a villain. Sansa, that's a brat. There's a difference. I think Sansa catches a lot of flack because of her bratty ways in this, but there's a difference between being, I do feel like her brattiness compared to all the awful people, like here, that's the thing with awful people, as long as awful people don't annoy you, they usually get a pass. But if you annoy them and you're not a villain, you're not getting that pass. I feel like Sansa in season 1 definitely does not get that pass, because while she's not a villain, she is annoying. Like, the brattiness is annoying at some point. So I don't think Joffrey 1000% a villain, Sansa 1000% a brat, but like, she's 13, she's a kid, you know, she's at that age where brattiness is kind of, it's like it's twisted together at that age. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching Game of Thrones with me. I really hope you appreciate the reactions. I'm enjoying this way of watching so much more than the one by one and the books and all of that. I just lost the love, but I definitely like doing this more, just like getting all of it together. And I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like and tell me what you thought of the episodes down below, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time for the last 2 episodes of season 1. Bye everyone, and take care.